So let's see, what's going on in the news? Anything Bitcoin price closer to a cycle top? Yeah, some five indicators. There is that multi-indicator we should look at. I think it's the MIMMS. I can't remember. And but new all-time high today, guys. Got my Bitcoin hat on. Cheers. And so let's see, Bitcoin enters acceleration phase resembling Bitcoin price gains seen after the Trump election victory, but they're not really holding very well, are they? So let's just see, what was I doing here? Let me check these other charts. There's a lot going on in all of these. So I've got a couple different versions just because I sometimes see different things looked at different ways, but let's just stay on this chart. So guys, what did I say? We're getting the makings of an inverted hammer there, spinning top, whatever you want to call it. You consult your high probability candlestick patterns for more. Let's just take one more look at the M2 though, because if we see this drift down into June 4th, I mean that's right when one is saying June 6th, and then June 23rd. I'm not trying to sugarcoat this, but it's right in this area though. June 30th, June 23rd. Now Juan also was saying that the lower cycle calls are more accurate generally, unless I'm wrong, but for top signals, I really want to, general area, but we'll be watching our ERIs for sure, for sure. But it's interesting that it's putting it right in that possible time frame, right up in that range. So we're seeing some alignment. Not everyone's talking about this, which is good. And so let me turn off that M2, and let's see. Do we want to look at anything else on the Bollinger Bands on the daily? I did want to see if we were pushing up in there. Not so much. So. And do we have any rockets? I kept getting alerts that we had rockets, but I think it was on my 4-hour chart. All right, let's look at the M3 screener. Coinbase Bitcoin is all green on our screener. This is what Joe created and what the institutions use. So it's still bullish on the screener and with the RSI and the signal, but it's the only one. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, and we should check our radar. Our radar's looking good. We're all green except for the daily. So do watch your radar for all green entries and more likely pushes higher. The bull market support band also looking good, nicely above the bull market support band. That is, if you don't remember what that is, it's two moving averages. And whenever Bitcoin gets below it, it's usually like 8 to 12 weeks of quicksand, and it gets stuck down in there. So right in here we can see that got below it on the weekly, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 8 weeks below the bull market support band. We want to be above that, and because that's when the bull market happens, hence the name. Get back, I was under the bull market support band, and then here, this is the rally that we're hoping we get, this sort of double phased pump, and and somewhat in here as well. But this was all below the bull market support band, got up, retested it, and then it goes, boom. All right, so enough about that and about Bitcoin there. Let's see what's going on with this bull market support band. I don't need on the chart at this point. All right, why are my... Oh, that's why. Okay, so whenever you're doing multiple studies, you want to do a merge all studies on the right. But I'm not sure which one that was because I had it hidden. Was that for the M2? This is still new for us, so I'm just still playing around with that one. Oh, okay. No, that's why. That's right. When you merge all scales with the M2, it disappears. Right. That's why I didn't do that. So I don't know if you can undo that. Move scale to the left. Yeah, no, it merged all of them. So we want to be on the right. I might have to delete it and start over again. If you ever run into that, that's what's going on. What's happening here? Right, so let's see. Merge scale to the left. That's move. You can't unmerge it, I don't think. Reset price scale. Maybe that's it. I believe. Was that it? Hang on a second. And I've screwed it up somehow. Okay, so I'm gonna delete it. It's we got to push it back on. Okay, no biggie, no big deal. Well, here's how you find it anyway. I just go into M2 global, and then it's called the one that's called shift. Liquidity index time shift. I think this is a different one though. Didn't you guys write that down? I should have screenshotted. There's more in here than I thought. Offset and wave. Let's do that. Time shift. Christian. Was this the one? Well, we'll know soon enough. Not the one. Mine was blue. All right. M2 shift. This is it. The Sekani. This is the one. And but let's compare them. Okay, because the Kasani one is the one that shifted over. The yellow one is not. That's what it is. And I think means I probably have these in here twice. Shoot, I'm gonna have to delete some to get down farther, unless I go big screen. These are some of the challenges. Money shift, global liquidity index, right? So we don't need that one, and I don't need this one. We'll just do the blue one. Okay, we're back in business. All right, sorry guys. All right, well that's about all I wanted to cover there. Let's get down into business on Solana. The total market cap important. I want to revisit that also. So look, this is not looking good, guys. So remember we looked at this last week. This is a resistance area. This on the daily total market cap is rejecting. It's resisting here. All right, so I'm leaning more toward we're going to get some kind of a pull in at this point, and just take some off the table because I'd rather buy it back lower. I still think we go higher, but total market cap showing us to have some resistance here on the daily, and the weekly still showing some upside, but we've got to clear 3.6 trillion to 3.7 trillion before we're in price discovery on the overall, and it's come up quite a ways. Probably going to pull in a little bit. Probably going to pull in. Since we don't know, and if you sell 25%, sell half, probably a smart thing to do right now on Bitcoin, and then we'll get to the alts here. So total market 2 has broken above this trend line resistance, but I think I'll move it over. It's now a symmetrical wedge of sorts. It did have a throw under here, but not looking terribly good. By the way, the money supply I'll turn off. That's only for Bitcoin. So we'll just do this. And the blue line, of course, is the 200 SMA, which is also good for ETH and total market cap, things like that. So, look, if we go lower, it's not a bad thing. We're still above the 21 and 50 EMAs, so on the weekly time frame. So that's bullish. And so let's just go down the line. That's total 2. Total 3 is looking interesting. That's without ETH and Bitcoin. And this signals that we could have an altcoin rally incoming. Okay, so if Bitcoin and ETH pull down and Bitcoin dominance goes down, Sol could really help lead that. Definitely some resistance up here at 1.13 trillion. And I have an alert here, total 3 crossing up 950 basically by alts. And I don't know why that didn't trigger here. Maybe this is a weekly chart because I just put it on last week. So if we get an alert on that, you guys will know total 3 buying going up above 950 here. I'll just change that to be a little more exact. And I mean, it doesn't really matter that much, but 950 billion, and to buy altcoins. Everyone got it? And that would be a key level too, because prior resistance. Can you see this? What we want is prior resistance to flip as support. And so once you see it, you can't unsee it here. So this was resistance. And then resistance there, I'm going to pull it down a little bit. I could have drawn that a little bit better. But that 950 level, if it comes down and retests that, that would be great. Because that matches this fractal here. It comes down, retests it, and then it's off to the races. Okay, we'll keep that on the radar. Total DeFi, and it's in a buy block, kind of slowly holding, slightly holding, but it is above its 21 and 50 week EMA, so I like that. That's good. However, DeFi, a lot of sell pressure up ahead, not quite ready yet. So, and headed down on the TSI. What's total 3 doing? We didn't look at that on the daily. So, yeah, it's looking a little bit bearish here, coming down from the TSI, and but the total 3 does look better. Like it could easily rally up to this. So altcoin rally maybe on the table, you guys. What do you guys think? Bitcoin dominance, of course, coming down. Rejected out of that 65% range where it usually does. Trying to make it push back up. Let's put an alert to see when it gets back above. Say, I'm going to say 64.50 just to let us know early, and that we're getting up back above that area. So add alert. Okay, it doesn't want to let me do it there. Add alert on Bitcoin dominance. It doesn't want to do it. Something about we're going to do it anyway, and right in there. Okay. can continue anyway. We want to know. Inquiring minds want to know, what is this? This is the key in the bell. I already know that that's there. What is this one down here? Oh, that's that other money flow. We don't need that one. Okay. So let's keep going and get down in the weeds a bit. I do want to get to USDT, by the way, and let's just do that now because that's an important one. That is our contrarian indicator, or the contra indicator, of course. So we continue to follow this, and the base case here with that is it's been going on bouncing off of this trend line since 2018, and every time it does, we see a correction in the market. As money flows into stable coins, it flows out of the markets, and then when it comes out of stable coins, it goes back in the markets. So when it goes down, bull market, that was that October of 2020, and then we bounced, saw that sort of midsummer correction, if you remember that, and then we saw it kind of pull down again, and that was the market top. Okay, and then we went into the bear market. Down here, we see this fractal from this period. I've adjusted it a few times, but it does look to me that we're following this. And if I push it out of the way, USDT dominance still coming down though, and that would indicate we have some more bullishness in the market. So this is of course a weekly time frame. So maybe we just have a little bit of daily noise, but we're going to want to be careful when this thing comes down. And this allows for, look at this little fractal push. See, it's not, on the last time it didn't get back down. It pushed higher, temporarily suppressing prices. You guys follow me? And because when it bounces up, let's just tie it back in. When it came down again here, let me do the overlay so I can find it. Where is the overlay? Now I can't find it. Where did I get that? There it is. Okay, it's right in front of me. So specifically this right there. And let me draw that a little bit better. Oops. Let me try that again. Come on now. Okay. So, and I'm going to tighten that up specifically. Do you guys see? It was on the way down. The midsummer rally was starting, and USDT was coming down, right? Right here, and then it bounced in September, and we had that rally, right? So we could see that same thing here, and get a little bit more of the rally squeeze in there, and into June, and then we're kind of in that early June time frame where we're expecting it to go higher. Now these don't need to overlap at the same, and I want to not get confirmation bias, and maybe we're going to see something like that. I don't know, but I'm going to follow this. Point is, if it comes down to this line where I have into sort of July, August, and pushes higher, that's when I'm going to be saying, guys, we're going to get into cash. Because a second bounce off that line is what we saw back in here. And then we headed up to the crypto crash and bear market. Okay? And starting with the crypto correction. Hey, this is Brett from Moonstream. If you'd like to learn more about our pro trading signals or our live classes every Wednesday or our Retire Rich program, go over to moonstream.io/start.